In the previous poll, a majority of people voted for the best upcoming budget IEMs, and I found seven of them. Starting with the BLON BL03. The 01 was a cult classic. It was a very big hit, especially because of how it favors mid bass and how punchy it was. And it was also a very warm sound signature. It was very smooth as well, as you can see on the graph. The treble has been smoothened out, it's very refined, and it's perfect for a lot of genres, though it's kind of laid back for some songs. Overall, the resolution and technicalities were quite poor on this compared to the others, but it's still a fan favorite, especially because of this kind of tuning. What they seem to have done with the 032 is boost the sub bass, because I think that was the only thing people complained about on the original 01. And on the best graph we can get, which is a 5128 graph, they have increased the sub bass to a bit more than Harmon. The rest of the tuning is very familiar. The 2 to 6K range has a very slight lift, which we can also attribute to unit variance, and I don't know how much it'll be audible. They haven't exactly changed the design from the original one, and that was the most controversial aspect of it, because some people found it difficult to fit. At least from the images, they seem to have upgraded the cable. I will get a unit of this and I'll let you know how it is. But yeah, this is something to be excited about if you're interested in warm signatures with a bass boost. After that, if you're a bass head, then 7 Hertz Elua is coming soon, and this is tuned by HPB, so expected to have a lot of sub bass and a lot of mid bass too. The rest of the frequency is not that great, as you can see, but if you're interested in such bass heavy sound signatures, something along the lines of the QKZ HPB or the KZ Saga bass edition and the KZ Casto Pro bass edition, then this might be okay for you. And yeah, this is going to be priced at around 2.3 something, I think. And for that price, for a bass head IEM, yeah, it's worth looking out. Now we have a Harman interpolation, and this is a somewhat smoothened out version of Harman. Some people find the 2 to 6K region on Harman a bit too boosted, a little too shouty, and the Tripowin Vivace, which was in collaboration with someone, I'm forgetting the name, but yeah, that has somewhat of a fix to that by reducing the upper mid range and also dropping the treble compared to Harman. The rest of it is inspired by Harman, but it doesn't exactly hit the Harman target, especially the lower mid range, where Harman kind of makes everything sound a bit thin and a little bit pulled back in the around 80 to 200 hertz range. This one kind of boosts that range up to give a little bit more body, a little bit more warmth, you can say. And this will be a very interesting IM to listen to and compare with all the other Harman variants we have at this segment. And I will be testing this out soon. I'm not expecting many people to know Audiocular here for making IEMs, since they generally make DACs or other audio accessories like cables. But Audiocular has launched their new IEM, and they also have a Type C version of it. I'm getting one to test, and the frequency response they've given, we cannot draw many conclusions from it since we don't know what it's compensated to. And the measurement they've given looks kind of rough and very bass heavy, though it's 1,300 rupees. That is KZ Saga and Moondrop Quark DSP territory, so I'm not sure if they can compete that well, but yeah, let's see. Out of all of these, this is actually the one I'm the most excited about, and it's the Tanchjim Bunny DSP. This is how good the tuning is. It reminds me of the Nothing Ear, and it measures really well when compensated to Harmony 2019. They've dropped the bass. I expected to have very good mid range. There's a very slight upper mid range reduction, and overall, the tuning is very mature. The only issue with the 2 DSP tuning I had was that it was a little bit too dark tilted, and this one kind of solves that. And I am interested in this one a lot, especially because of this frequency response graph. Just look at it. Some of you will recognize Moondrop GU, and if this sounds anything like that, then it will be an instant recommendation from my end, and I think I'm getting this too in a couple of weeks. And finally, there's this Twistura D Minor for around 3000, and I do not know why they have tuned it this way. I will still test it out and not just judge the entire IM from the graph, but there seems to be way too much mid bass from what I can see, and it's a very overly warm kind of tuning. I will still test it, it might have its appeal, but I don't know why anyone would spend 3K for this kind of tuning when there are better balanced sets and even somewhat better tuned sets in the 2000 segment. But yeah, you can look out for this one too. Yeah, that closes the list. The IEMs I've mentioned are the BLON BL03 which is a good warm addition as per me, and it competes with Tangzu Warner, the now discontinued Truthier Hola, and other warm IEMs at the segment like the Kinera Celeste Y1 Abyss is also there. Then we have the 7 Hertz 02, which is not exactly warm, but there is a lot of sub bass boost and they've dropped the treble, so it comes under a very similar category. Then there's 7 Hertz Elua with this kind of tuning. I don't know what to make of it, so I will not say anything about its competitors. Then we have the Tripowin Vivace, which competes with all the Harman and Harman derivatives at this segment. Then Audiocular LEX competes directly with the pure basshead IEMs, including this new 7 Hertz Elua. And the Tanchjim Bunny DSP competes directly with the Moondrop GU, the Moondrop Chu 2, and even if you're taking only tuning into account, then it competes with the Tangzuana Studio Edition and Truthier Gate. And I think that's it. Even the Zigart Nuo is a very good Harman variant. It competes with these. And finally, we have the Twistura D Minor, which I don't, I'm not that much of a fan of the graph, but I would classify it in the same form category as the BL03 and the others I've mentioned.